Hello, I'm Batman.
Hello, I'm Ashley.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Kundiso Mhlanga with my colleagues Batman and Ashley. So we are going to tackle the question, the fallacies of European thought packaged as political theory under the political theory module.
So, in our question, we are going to talk about the fallacies of European thought packaged as political theory. So, we are going to critique this question in relation to the African Ubuntu philosophy. So, we are going to use European theorists in our question, which include Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates. Uh, the the fallacies of European thought packaged as political theory, considering the work of these three theorists. Uh, the their work includes individualism, uh, culture, and justice. However, uh, it should be noted that in their work, uh, critiquing with the African Ubuntu philosophy, the African Ubuntu philosophy outweigh their work. Uh, the Ubuntu philosophy values and norms, according to the critic, it is more important than the European thought, and these are the issues that are going to be discussed in the question, the fallacies of European thought package is the political theory. Uh, Defining the term fallacy. Uh, Fallacy is the use of invalid or otherwise false reasoning or wrong moves in the construction of an argument, which may appear stronger than it really is if the fallacy is not supported. Uh, Moving on to European theorist Aristotle, see individualism. Aristotle believes in human nature. Uh, for him to be in a state of knowing some fact of wealth is not essential. Uh, to be in a relationship with other human beings is not important, according to Aristotle. So, these three virtues are naturally understood to be self-regarding, temperance, consistency, and toughness. However, uh, it is also imperative to note that this fallacy is irrelevant to African context, according to African Ubuntu philosophy, where we believe that in a society we are supposed to live together, sharing each and everything we have in the society, which include resources. They are supposed to be distributed equally in the society. And the Ubuntu approach allows team members to strive together, becoming caring, understanding, and sharing. And also community members are able to help and care for each other members of family. The Ubuntu philosophy advocates community and engagement with the society that we live. So where we are saying we are supposed to live together, assisting each other in the society. Uh, the communalism involves wealth distribution among members of the society. According to Coleman under Ubuntu, he said that African morality cannot be confined outside Africa. Therefore, this is a further supported by the African mantra, which said you can take an African outside Africa, but you cannot take Africa outside an African. Hence, D2 says that Ubuntu is the essential essence of humans.
Right. I'm not talking about Plato. Theories who talked about justice, right? Plato's Republic provides the dramatic setting for the investigation into the question of justice. Plato's Socrates is especially focused on rebutting the popular thesis that justice is an expression of the will of power and is such a mere product of convention. However, justice is merely an ideological construct that is aimed at concealing the selfish interest of the powerful ruler of the rulers of the day, right? Thrasmarkers put it, the absence of reason, and given Plato's own skepticism of the possibility of the philosopher king ever assuming political power. The human ought must navigate between the divine and the beast in the search of justice in the society. For Plato, the realm of the political represents the only true realm of authentic human existence. This is perhaps why his student Aristotle is often quoted as having said, "He who are able to live in a society or has no need because he is sufficient for himself must be either bad or good." Right. However, it is essential to note that this fallacy is irrelevant to Africans, considering the African Ubuntu philosophy. In African justice, both the offender and the offended are taken through a traditional court. After the hearings and advice, the offender is usually told to pay a fine in the form of chickens, goats, or cattle to the offender's party, depending on the gravity of the offense. Right. Moving on. The traditional local judiciary system is both punitive and compensatory, in that the offender is punished and at the same time the offended party is duly compensated. Through traditional local hearings, people unite and reconcile with short time. Such community-based approach to justice underpins an African leadership style that is founded in community love and solidarity. Right. Moving on, I'm now talking about Socrates. Socrates talks about culture. Right. Socrates' philosophy may be regarded as a dialogue with this period. They believed that money had the power to undermine, displace, and even destroy long established and respected ethical values. And this was according to Seafood 2004, page 94. This was the age of democracy, the money-based rule. Democracy had no special regard for the value of the human being as a human being. Its primary and overriding aim and the overriding aim was to continue to accumulate wealth, and human life was subordinated to the achievement of this aim. Solon wrote, "Of wealth there is no limit that appears to men. For those of us who have the most wealth are eager to double it." This was also according to Seaford, 2004, page 165.
Continuing from where my colleague has left, it is crucial to note that the fallacies of the European thought, packaged as political theory, are toxic to African culture, basing on African Ubuntu philosophy. This culture promotes dirty means of acquiring wealth in Africa. There is cultural dilution in Africa by the European thought, as it brings changes in how Africans do things. Moving on, it is of human being in the world is appropriated by the leading representatives of the Western European philosophical tradition of modernity, enlightenment, and it is turned upon the non-Western world, and Africa in particular. It loses its universalistic appeal given the brutal will to power that has accompanied the European project of slavery and colonialism. The structural components of the project modernity. This is according to Habermas 1981. The Western project of modernity is based on a philosophical denial of humanity of the African, and this denial of African humanity accounts for the prevalence of philosophical racism as justification for Western modernity's violent encounter with dismissal Africa as a continent of civilized human beings. Whether one considers the exploitative nature of the colonial state and its violent dispossession of African land and material resources, on the one hand, or the post-colonial nation state and the violent marginalization of the African continent in the global economic order of the free market system. On the other hand, one is struck by the profound indifference of the so-called developed world to the enormous scale of human suffering on the African continent. The indifference is all the more striking given the fact that the theme of humanity, of human being in the world, has occupied such a central place in the history of Western philosophy. In conclusion, this write-up has tried to critique the European thoughts being labeled as political theory. This is due to the fact that those thoughts by Europeans seem to contradict with the values of the thoughts of African thoughts. The European thoughts include Aristotle, who believes in individualism of human nature, which is in contrary with the African values that promotes togetherness and communalism. Plato, the idea which rebuked the popular thesis that justice is an expression of the will to power, is incompatible with the African idea that supports justice and fairness, and this has been useful in the African community since it reduced the cases of committing crimes. And lastly, Socrates' belief that money is important than human life contradicts with the African Ubuntu philosophy that values human life than money. One can therefore not be penalized to pinpoint that surely European thoughts are fallacies.